The snow fell hard on the frozen world of Sungra. The wind screamed like a wild beast, and ice covered everything. In the middle of a dead forest, an alien named Tyreek stumbled through the storm. His green scales were numb from the cold. Sharp claws were shaking. His breathing came in short gasps. Tyreek was a scout for the Vroth Empire. His mission was simple: find signs of human life on this dangerous planet. But now his ship was broken, his tools were frozen, and his radio was dead. The snowstorm had swallowed him. He was alone. As Tyreek struggled forward, he saw shapes moving through the snow. At first he thought they were shadows. Then he saw bright blue eyes glowing in the white mist. One shape became 10. 10 became 20. The shadows stepped out of the storm, and Tyrak's heart filled with terror. They were white wolves. Each wolf was bigger than a horse, with thick fur as white as the snow. Their eyes were cold and smart. Their teeth were long and sharp. The wolves spread out in a circle, surrounding Tyreek. They did not snarl. They did not growl. They only watched him with silent eyes. Tyreek raised his shaking blaster. His hands were so cold he could barely pull the trigger. He knew the stories. He knew humans came from a death world, and that on Earth wolves were some of the smartest hunters. But these wolves looked even more dangerous. He thought, I am going to die here. He took a step back. The wolves took a step forward. Their white fur brushed the snow. Their eyes never left him. The circle grew tighter and tighter. Tyreek felt his fear rise like fire inside his chest. Then, through the swirling snow, a figure appeared. It was a small human woman. She walked slowly, calmly, with no weapon in her hands. Her black hair blew in the icy wind. Her eyes were dark and serious. She wore thick clothes, but she looked fragile compared to the giant wolves around her. Her name was G1, and she was a xenobiologist from Earth. She stopped a few steps behind the wolves. She raised her hand. The wolves all turned their heads to look at her, and to Tyrak's shock, they lowered their heads in respect. The wolves stepped back, opening a path between Tyreek and the human woman. Tyreek could not believe his eyes. These monsters were listening to her. They were protecting her. Gi-1 walked forward. Her steps were careful, but full of confidence. She reached Tyreek and knelt beside him. Her breath made small clouds in the cold air. She opened a bottle of water and held it out to him. You are hurt, G1 said softly. Her voice was calm, like a warm blanket. Drink this. Tyreek stared at her. His mind screamed at him to run, to fight, but his body was too cold and weak. He took the water. It was the best thing he had ever tasted. He looked at the wolves, who now sat quietly around them like loyal guards. Why? Why do they listen? To you, Tyreek asked, his voice trembling. G1 smiled a little. Humans and wolves have a long history together, she said. Thousands of years ago, humans lived side by side with wolves on Earth. We learned to hunt together. We learned to trust each other. Over time, wolves became dogs, our friends and partners. She looked around at the giant white wolves. These are not like Earth wolves, but they understand respect and trust. I did not force them to follow me. I earned it. Tyreek felt dizzy. His people believed humans were dangerous because they were violent. But what he saw now was even more frightening. Humans could make the deadliest hunters in the galaxy follow them willingly. The snowstorm grew stronger. But G1 did not look worried. She took a small device from her pocket, pressed a button, and a soft blue light shone into the sky. That is my rescue beacon, she explained. My partner will find us soon. As she spoke, the wolves lay down around Tyreek. Their bodies were warm, and they let him lean against their thick fur. He felt his strength slowly return. The wolves' breathing was calm and steady. He felt their hearts beating, realized they were not monsters. They were family to this human. Tyreek looked up at G1, who stood tall among the white wolves. In that moment, he understood what made humans truly dangerous. They did not just survive death worlds, they owned them. They made the monsters of death worlds their friends. As the snow fell harder, Tyreek wondered what other secrets humans had, and what else in the galaxy might one day bow to them. Snow kept falling on planet Sungra. The cold wind blew across the forest, making ghostly sounds. But in the middle of the storm, a strange and quiet peace had settled. The big white wolves sat close to Tyreek, the alien scout, giving him their warmth. He could feel their soft breathing, could hear the slow beating of their hearts. He had never felt so close to any creature, not even his own kind. The human woman, Juan, stood nearby. She watched the forest carefully. Her eyes were sharp and calm, like she was born in this deadly place. Tyreek could not stop staring at her. He remembered how scared he was of the wolves, but now he felt safer than ever before. He thought, this human is not just strong, she is something more. Suddenly the wolves lifted their heads, their ears twitched. G1 raised her hand. The wolves went completely still. Tyreek felt fear again. Was something coming? Out of the snow. Another figure appeared. It was a tall human man wearing thick armor and carrying a heavy blaster. His name was Dazik, G1's partner. He moved quickly to them, but he did not look scared of the wolves at all. I got your signal, Dazik, said, his voice loud in the storm. His eyes fell on Tyreek. Is this the lost scout? G1 nodded. He was surrounded by the wolves. They could have killed him, but they didn't. Dazik looked around at the white wolves. His face showed respect. They waited for you, he said, just like always. Tyrak's eyes widened. Always?
Ask you me.
Dazik laughed softly. No, alien. This is how humans survive on death worlds. We don't just fight monsters, we learn from them. We earn their trust. That is the human edge. The words shocked Tyreek. His empire taught him that humans were violent and greedy. But these two humans showed him something completely different.
Ow.
They had turned monsters into partners. They walked through death worlds like they belonged there. G-1 pointed at the forest. We need to move. The storm is getting worse. Wolves guard our sides. The wolves stood up at once. They formed a ring around G1, Dazik, and Tyreek. When the humans walked forward, the wolves moved with them like a living shield. Tyreek walked in the middle, trying to keep up. As they traveled, G1 talked to Tyreek in a calm voice. She told him stories about Earth. She told him how humans once lived with real wolves, how they hunted together, how they shared food, and protected each other. She spoke of other animals, humans tamed, horses, giant birds, even the mighty orcas, of Earth's oceans. You see, G1 said, her voice steady, humans are not the strongest creatures in the galaxy, but we are the best at making friends, even with monsters. Tyreek listened with awe. He looked at the wolves. Their blue eyes glowed softly in the dark. Snow covered their fur, but they moved with silent strength. He realized he was seeing the true power of humans. It was not their weapons or their ships. It was their ability to turn fear into trust. A loud roar cut through the storm. The ground shook under their feet. G1 and Dazik stopped. The wolves growled low, their hackles rising. A huge shape moved in the blizzard, bigger than any wolf. It was a giant ice bear, with claws like swords and teeth like knives. The ice bear charged straight at them. Tyreek screamed, but G1 stayed calm. She stepped in front of Tyreek. She raised both hands high and shouted, "Hold!" The wolves leaped forward as one. They attacked the ice bear's legs, biting and clawing with perfect teamwork. The bear swung its massive paws, but the wolves dodged quickly. G1 pulled a flare from her belt and lit it. The bright red light flashed through the storm. The bear stopped, blinking its small eyes. G1 walked forward slowly, holding the flare high. She looked into the bear's eyes without fear. "Go," she said, her voice clear and strong. "This is not your fight." The ice bear roared one last time, then turned and ran into the forest. The wolves gathered back around G1. Storm began to calm. Tyreek fell to his knees. He had never seen such bravery. He had never seen any creature face a monster like that without firing a single shot. Dasik put a hand on Tyrak's shoulder. "Now you understand," he said. "Humans don't rule death worlds with violence. We survive by earning respect, even from beasts." Tyreek looked at G1 with deep respect. He realized he had been wrong about humans all his life. The stories about their cruelty missed the truth. The truth was far more dangerous. Humans could tame death itself. As the storm cleared, G1 smiled. "Let's go home." Walked beside them. The human rescue ship appeared in the sky, lights bright and welcoming. Tyreek took one last look at the wolves and knew he would never forget what he saw that day. Humans making monsters into friends and showing the galaxy what it truly meant to survive.